Hey guys, so this is going to be some quick sailing tips. We got the ocean content probably coming up soon, so I just figured to throw out some, quick sailing tips for some new players. So we're going to start from the very beginning. So you go to your wharf, two popular places, store your boats here in Etheria, and then up here in Belly as the wharf guy. He's no longer down here if you haven't had a boat in a long time. He's now up on this dock. Um, in this inn, you'll be able to buy up our Taylor sailboat once we get the Great Ocean stuff, and maybe even now. I haven't gotten in there yet, but so that's some basic stuff. So we're take your ship out in the Wharf Manager. If the register in the bottom left would be how you first do it. So one cool thing in the Wharf Manager a lot of people don't realize is there's this transfer mount button on the bottom. So you pick your ship or set, your location where your ship is stored. So for example, say if I wanted to get my sailboat back to Illy Island, you can hit Illy Island. It'll show you the boats in that wharf, and then you hit X, and then a million silver. And then what it does is it says, my sailboat's transporting, and then it's on the far right it shows you it takes 10 minutes for it to sail there. So that's one, if you lose your boat or it gets killed or something, you can kind of move your boat from another dock to where you are. We're gonna take out my frigate here. I'm gonna go do the sailing dailies. So when you take it out, the first thing you want to do is this one's repaired already. The red bar at the top right, you're going to repair the durability because it's cheaper to repair the docks than it is than it is with the ship repair materials. Then you're going to want to buy supplies or rations. This is, if you're sailing around, it goes down, and if you're using breezy sail at skilled one, it goes down pretty quick. So you're going to want to buy rations, pretty cheap, and it also refills your cannonballs. So that's one thing. So here, there's nobody really in Etheria, and I think it's quicker to get out to, do some of the currency monitor stuff here. So we're gonna teleport out. You notice there's two boats stacked on top of each other here, mine and another guy's. So what you can do is there's this find boat icon. The description's a little, iffy here. So you can map it to your thing, and it gives you an opportunity to locate, or which basically gives you like a marker to where your ship is. Um, the summon find ship one, move it towards you, helps you find it. This one, if you're like 10 feet away from it, like as I was here, you can jump off, swim away a little bit, and it'll basically teleport you right on top of your ship. So like if you're in Velio and there's like 50 ships all on top of each other, and even here, um, it's pretty helpful. I'll show you what the other one does in a second. So this one brings the ship to you. So they both do the same thing. This one will bring the ship to you. This one will put you on the ship. So, if your ship's too far away, it'll point like a marker on the map for you. So you can find these if you go to your ring menu, and then there's a boat icon on here somewhere. There it is. So find boat, and then you just assign it, and you can use it just off the map like I did. So this next tip is going to be, say if you want to leave port, go past Pirate Island to sail into the Great Ocean, look at how terrible all these little turns are going to be. Not to mention, and for those you don't sail, anytime it auto pass you around here, there's a million little islands. You are guaranteed to get stuck 100% of the time. So how do we avoid that and kind of streamline, our, auto pathing? Not only that, all these little turns, it takes you like 10 times longer. If you're like, hey, why can't I just go straight? So there's a tip for this. You let go of your steering wheel, go back to your map, and this is kind of for those horse people. You probably know this one. So you zoom in a little bit, and you can make straight lines with your, and you will basically, and then now we're go as far as we can. And so you can do this going back as well. And if you want to AFK sail back to the docks, you just want to like put the last marker like down here somewhere, and then have another one go here, and you'll just crash into the wall. And then I'll get you like back home. But so this one is you can do this, tag breezy sail. And the breezy sail skilled one, there's gonna be a quest line when you get the Great Expedition that'll take you to like skilled 1, 2, or 3. I forget. And you'll see. Hopefully, I didn't mark any islands on this little route. There's usually like one or two tiny ones. I think I avoided them though. Sometimes the breezy sail goes and it doesn't go again, which is pretty annoying. There it goes. It usually takes like 10 seconds or so. I forget the official cooldown. So you can see all those little markers I made are basically like where there's slight turns in my route. So the other tip is if you see Monster Hunt and you need to repair, you can use your storage mates. They give these for free for a lot of events. If you've been playing for a long time, you probably got like 5 or 6 of each. So you can Furia links to Caltheon. If you're up near Ilia, so you can see yourself on the map too, which is pretty cool. So you can see I'm going along Ilia. That'll access the Port Lima. We'll go to here. You can put a container in the house up here. 1 CP if you have the house. I'll probably do that for bartering. And then Velia, if you're like in this area around here, it'll link up to Velia. So you can move materials around that way. The ship repair materials, I usually just buy them, but you can get them from chopping like some plywood. So if you get your ash plywood, I don't have any on me, but you just chop the plywood again, and it gives you ship repair materials. So we'll test out. So like this one, that rock I forgot about. Hopefully, actually, I think I went past it. Let's see. We did this. Yeah. So this is why you zoom in. So when you do this, you can kind of like, if you autopath it, you'd be making like a million zigzags all the way through. This guy active fishing maybe. Where's it? Quest there? I forget. You see, without touching anything, it's cruising you right past all these islands. So, and the other tip too is you can press the L3 button, the left joystick in, and it'll start auto sailing. Right now it's an auto sail you on a path, but if you were to remove this path, which I'm not going to do because it's taking me out to, and you just don't have a path, auto sail will just make you go perfectly straight. So like if you were here and you wanted to like, sail that way and there's nothing in front of you, or when you're out in the great ocean and there's nothing in front of you, it'll just let you. Did I run into something? Oh no, I hit the L3. You just gotta be careful with the L3 button. So, um, the, oh, I did run into a stupid rock. Okay, so this is where there's one freaking rock. There we go. So on currents, you just saw how I had like a 110 pointing towards you. So for the currents is the wiggly line on the left, and the wind is on the right. So with the wind, if the wind is pointing towards you, which is that little white icon, if that's pointing down, like on the top of the radar, like anywhere from like from 12 o'clock to say like 3 o'clock, and then maybe 10 o'clock on, you want to put your sail down because the wind's going to slow you down. Your speed is determined by this orange bar in the middle. So you see here how it picks up when I do breezy sail and it goes to the middle. If you get a good current, it's going to go like zooming all the way to the right. But that's your boat speed, is that orange bar in the middle. So if you put the sail up, it's going to slow you down. If the wind's behind, if the wind's pointing at you, the wind can turn from like white, and then when it goes into the 300s, it's green, and then like 400 to 500 it turns blue, which makes your ship go really fast. The current, which you see at like 20, which is the squiggly line on the left, that's the water movement. So what it'll do is, if the arrow is on the bottom, so the bottom is good basically in both categories, and the tops are bad. So if the arrow is on the bottom, it's going to make your ship go faster, and if the arrows are on the sides, it's kind of like negligent, and if the arrows on top, it slows you down. So you can see here, with top, it's going to make it a little slower. If I put the sails down, the ship's going to like, the ship speed will take like a little bit of a hit, you know, by a few percentage, and then it goes back up. You can go a little quicker. So the breezy sail is kind of like a horse sprint. You want to get skill 1 to use that. And it helps you out. So aside from that rock, which I forgot it was there, usually I miss it when I do the autopathing, it takes you right out here. So this spot, I like the Portaferia personally, because you kind of go right over here, and here's Heckaroos, and then here's Stalkers if you're farming for boat mats, and then you can just, um, you know, so if you want to get to Margoria, so this is where we're close enough where we can just take off the autopath, and I can just press L3, and L3 will just take me go straight now. So where I'm pointing now, like see on the top right of the minimap, this is kind of the last tip most likely, and I'll cut the video off. The last tip is going to be, you know, if you point like kind of where the towards the little like around where the Z is Xanatel or where the M Margoria pops up, it'll basically, unless you get the ghost ship, it'll take you, which is a ship that like is it like anti-K, AFK, you know, measure more or less. It'll basically you basically auto sail by pressing the L3 button and just coasting, you know, with breezy sail. You don't even need breezy sail, and it'll take you all the way to Margoria. So you pointed at like a little off to the right center of the top left of the map in that corner, and then when you leave Margoria, you point like maybe like an inch from the bottom right, and then that'll get you, you know, around to where Lima is when you leave Margoria port. So right now there's some sailing dailies at, if you want to get your level up in the next week or so here, at that the fishing imperial guy, and then this wharf manager here. If you do them every day, you'll get a lot of EXP, but we'll probably have, you know, sailing buff and some other stuff with the ocean update, and you also just get sailing EXP just sailing around. You can put on all the loggy stuff. I have it on. I was gathering pilgrims earlier, so I had it on. I'll kill a sea monster and then cut the video so you guys can see how you currently ram it. So once you get in the open ocean, you're gonna get the better winds. So like if I were to go all the way left, you can see how that wind's gonna swing behind me. I would go very fast in that direction. I don't want to go in that direction because there's an island there, and I want to kill a stalker, which is one of my daily quests, which I've hidden over on the right. So these are the dailies, all the way at the bottom. Ocean Predators, I think is. Oh, well, there's wanted a stalker. So you know, kill a stalker. Ship. Those are gold ones. So I'll kill a stalker really quick. You need like a ton of stalker parts for the boat prow. If you want to do that, or you can try and buy them. I don't think anyone's making them because it's a huge waste of time right now to sell them. Eventually, one day, if the price goes up, it'll be worth it. Normally, you can, once you get like a little out here, like you can kind of. Oh, I don't think there's a way to, you know, change the camera angle while you're driving. Let's see the right thing. Maybe we'll get that in. Go straight in and look around. Normally you can see the sea monster kind of off in the distance. So you'll be able to shoot your own cannons if you upgrade the improved frigate or a sailboat. But right now we don't have that, so I'll kind of give you a ramming 101 tutorial here at the tail end of this, once I find a sea monster. And we should be in Stalker area. I went left at Hyde Island. There's maps if you go to, if you just Google sea monster BDO map or something. You should see one. Is that one up ahead? It's something up ahead. I don't know whether it'll be a stalker or not. It's just like normal stuff. It'll show up. They don't show up until you're really close. That looks like it's not a stalker. I can't tell. This is a young. So these are young sea creatures that they are plugging through W cannons. So you hit circle to ram, and then you hit circle again to stop it. So I'll do one more. That should be